everyone! Bocconi is back in session, which made me reflect and think about the things I wish I would have known before I got there and the things that I wish I would have known sooner in the process. So I thought I'd share with you the things I wish I would have known at Bocconi University. Number 1. You are not likely to make Italian friends at Bocconi University. I say this because Bocconi University takes in a lot of exchange students. So many exchange students to the point where the exchange students can create their own community and they speak their own languages or they speak English really quickly. And most of the Bocconi students are focused on their academics. A lot of the exchange students live together and they also have similar priorities. Like some aren't really that into their schoolwork, they just want to pass to get credit, or they want to explore different cities and different countries. So many exchange students don't actually make that many Italian friends. Here's a pro tip: you can get all your textbooks in the library. That will save you some money when it comes to your academic budget. However, textbooks at Bocconi are a lot cheaper than they are at my university. So at my university, the textbooks are a couple $100 and maybe the internet access also costs an additional fee. Whereas at Bocconi, my textbooks were like 20 euros. Bocconi is a very academically challenging school. Mainly, it focuses on economics and finance. So if you take an economics and finance class, it's likely to be fairly difficult and it's going to have a lot of Italian students in it. I wanted to take economics and finance because they're not my strong suits, so that I could just pass the class and not have the grade affect my home school GPA. However, those classes were really hard just to pass. I took a class that was the equivalent of Intro to Finance at my university, but it was actually the second level finance at Bocconi, so everyone came into the class with prior knowledge of finance, and they were like, as you recall from XYZ class. I was like, I don't recall, break it down like a fraction for me, please. So when everybody says, oh, exchange, when you're on exchange or study abroad, the classes are really easy, they're super easy to pass, that is kind of true. If you take an elective class, like a marketing elective class, it's generally very easy because a lot of exchange students take that class. Those classes have assignments or they have a group project that'll help you boost your grade. Or I had a friend who had a class that was so easy, it was like matching. It was 10 matching questions was the final. Whereas the courses that had a lot of Italian students in it and weren't really meant, not that they weren't meant for exchange students, but weren't popular among exchange students were the ones that had writing as the final exam. They had very in-depth exams and very few assignments. Speaking of testing, there's test-taking period, right? So if you're taking a class where there's a midterm and a final, you may get the option to take the midterm, and if you fail or you don't do well or you don't do better than your final, you can wipe that out, right? But then your final is most likely cumulative. The other thing you should know about exams is once you finish the course, you can choose what date you want to take the exam. Now, some students want to wait a while so that they have more time to study before the exam, whereas other students want to take it right when the courses end and then they have it fresh in their mind from class. However, if you take it earlier and you don't do well on the first exam, you can take it again and again. You even have the opportunity to sit down in the exam, and up until the last part of the exam session, you can withdraw from that exam and not have your grade count at all. I didn't know that. So some of these professors make it hard on the first try because they're like, oh, they'll take it again, so I'll make it hard, they'll learn a little bit more, they'll study a bunch, and then they'll come back and take it a second or third time. It will be okay. Ain't nobody have flight money to come back to Italy to take an exam again. So needless to say, not all my exams went super well. The exams definitely go past the exchange student housing contract deadline. So if you say, I want to spend the summer in Italy, or I want to stay so I can have extra attempts on my exams, make sure you procure housing for the summer months because it's not in the resident hall package that you sign for through, Dubini, Arcobaleno, etc. Right? Also, Bocconi has this thing that they call a paper show. A paper show is when you have an exam or an assignment due and the professor will schedule time to hand back said assignments and go over any questions. Some of the classes you have to sign up very quickly to even be a part of the paper show because they don't open it up to everyone because they wouldn't be able to take everyone's questions. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you're checking your communication with your professor. If you lose something, there is a lost and found. There's a lost and found on the second floor of the building with the lions. And there's also in the classroom in the velodromo, the oval shaped building. If you pull up the boards in the classroom that you were in, the building that has all the N classroom names, they usually put stuff that's left behind the boards. Speaking of the buildings with the lions, at Bocconi it is bad luck to walk between the lions. It's said that if you walk between the lions, you will not pass your classes. I don't know if you believe in superstitions, but I found that out a little too late, and let's just say, Bocconi is a 15-minute walk from Navili. If you're gonna live in Arcobaleno, I would suggest not to commit for the whole semester. Some exchange students found that it was useful just to commit to Arcobaleno for half a semester until they found more affordable or closer housing. Get the student transit pass. In Milan they have ATM, the trams and the metro, you can use your ATM pass. I would suggest getting a monthly pass because it's less than 25 euros, which is really, really good if you know the prices in the United States. But a lot of people at first, I know at least me, because I avoided using the tram, I'm like, I don't have a pass. And people are like, oh no, just come on, they don't check, like, it's free to ride. That's what they told me at first, right? It is not free to ride the public transportation. They don't always check. However, if you get caught without a ticket, which they usually do around the first of the month because they know people haven't gone, they catch people and they give you a fine, and the fine is more than the monthly pass. And as a student, you get a discount on the cost of the monthly pass. So I would highly suggest it. If you get a job, ask them if they'll pay for it. When I babysat for a family because they lived a certain distance away from me and I had to take public transportation, I just asked them, do you mind paying for my monthly transportation costs? And they did. So give it a try. Check your class schedule for every week. Because some classes you'll say, oh, I have this class Monday and Wednesday at this time. There are weeks when the professors will schedule extra courses and expect you to show up. They will also maybe change the time, or they'll have an extra lecture, and the course schedule can change from week to week, which I did not realize. So here's another thing. Download the Bocconi app. It's so useful. It'll tell you what classes you have that week. You can check your mail. Speaking of which, you get your own email address as a Bocconi student, and it has activities that you can get involved in on campus. You'll do it through your You at Bocconi account, or you can do it, like I said, on the Bocconi app. It's very, very useful. I suggest you download it. Also, your room. The room your class takes place in may change. Should you join ESN? I think ESN is useful because if you get an ESN card, then you get a discount on a lot of travel-friendly resources through their website. In terms of their local events where they say, oh yeah, you're gonna need an ESN card to get in, a lot of those events are just like if you show that you're an exchange student, you'll get the same price, which is really good. With the ESN events where they travel to another city, you can do the same trip for less on your own dime most of the time. However, ESN events are really useful for meeting other exchange students. You create a community of people who want to go places, but if you're not really into group travel, then I don't think ESN is for you. If you'd like to do your own thing and hang out, I would suggest solo traveling. There's a cafe below the Residenza Bocconi place. It's in the middle of the campus, and it serves really good brioches for a really affordable price. There's trucks outside that also sell brioches, and the price is twice as much. Know that when you see all of the pictures Bocconi posts on the website and the pictures that they send you in your email, Most of the photos that they're taking are of the graduate school, and that is not where you'll be taking most of your classes if you're an undergraduate student. However, your ID does get you into that building. It's beautiful and has a great place to study. There's also a museum, an art museum underneath the graduate school. You will see a lot of people smoking. A lot of people smoke. In some of my classes, there was a smoke break because people could not sit without smoking for that long. I know that's common, like you would think it's common sense in Europe. I would have known that people would be smoking a lot, but every time I walked out of a building in between classes, it was like a smoke cloud, and you kind of get used to either secondhand smoke or practicing how long you can hold your breath. People are really fashionable at Bocconi. It is what it is. It's Milan, it's a nice school to go to, so a lot of people are carrying, well, I found I was there in the spring, so it was a little chilly at first. A lot of people had really nice outerwear, really nice bags, and just like I'm not really trying right now, but I'm casually slaying this class. It was really intense. At first I thought I was gonna keep up and try and be fashionable, but then I realized it wasn't really my thing. And Bocconi students are used to the fact that there's a lot of exchange students at that school, and it's painfully obvious to tell which ones are the Americans in leggings. People love the little espresso machines. I personally don't like coffee. I didn't like the espresso, but so many Bocconi students love the espresso machine, and you'll see them with the little spoon walking around campus scraping the foam. There aren't many water fountains on campus. You have to purchase a bottled water. Get an Esselunga store card. So Esselunga is a popular place to get groceries. It kind of has a little bit of everything from electronics to things you need for your residence to groceries. You can get a discount card that will give you special deals and discounts at Esselunga for free. So make sure you stop by the desk by the door and they'll hook you up. If you're traveling to Bocconi University, you may need a permit of stay. I'm a dual citizen. I am a citizen of the United Kingdom, thus a citizen of Europe, so I didn't need a permit of stay because I had my passport. But if you're traveling from the United States, you do need a permit of stay. However, many people found that process difficult. And from what I hear from the friends that I made, they said it wasn't necessary to get your permit of stay. Now, I'm not advising that you don't. I'm just saying it's difficult and some people just didn't get it. And they live to tell the tale. But get it. But also, there's a beautiful park next to Bocconi and it has Wi-Fi, so sometimes if you just want to lay out, it's nice weather, feel free to go do work there. Aperitivo is the best meal / non-meal of the day. Aperitivo, you get one drink, you pay a price for the drink, and then you get a buffet of appetizers, or in my case, dinner. So one of my favorite places to get aperitivo, because they serve you more than bread and ham and whatever, is Maya in Nabili. It has really good sangria. It gives you a lot of variety and dinner food as opposed to appetizers, but it's the same price as some of the bougier aperitivos. If you're looking for reggae, you can go to We Rhythm, and they have different reggae nights around Milan. If you like hip hop music, I would suggest going to Old Fashioned on Sunday. You're welcome. If you wanna go see an opera at La Scala, they offer discounted prices about 5 hours before the show starts. So if you get there, you can go on the side door about 5 hours, check the website or give them a call, but you can go 5 hours before and they'll give you a discounted price. Tickets for La Scala can be upwards of 100 euros, and I got La Scala tickets, I believe, for 20 euros. And it's really great cultural experience. You can get all dressed up and be at the opera in Milano. I hope now you may know some things that may make your study abroad experience at Bocconi a little bit easier. Felipe Fiasco, out. I don't know, that's it.